Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I recently did a video on all of my unread books and I realized there are quite a lot of them on my Could Start Immediately stack, and I really needed to reduce that. So I picked out a couple of books that I'm just not as interested in anymore. It's been a while since I last did my unhaul video, and I think it's also because when I realize that I'm not interested in a book anymore, I just put it up on my eBay and then I'm selling it, and I'm not doing like an unhaul video because it's just not a lot of books. But this time I really have a good amount of books that I'm going to show you now. I have read a couple of them too, but a lot of them are also unread where I'm just not interested. So yeah, let's get into the video, and we are going to start with a book that I've actually already read, and that is Wonderscape. It hasn't been long since I purchased this one. I actually read this for my reading middle grade for the first time video, but it was just too young for me. I didn't really enjoy it as much, so it was just average for me. I think I gave it 3 stars, so there's no need for me to keep this book. So yeah, this is going on my unhaul stack. Next up, we have a duology that I'm unhauling, and that is the Monsters of Verity series by Victoria Schwab, which is The Savage Song and Our Dog Duet. These are the German translations, and I just really want to read the series in English, so I don't need these anymore. Another book that I've already read is Mooncakes by Wendy Zhu and Suzanne Walker. This is a graphic novel that has been quite hyped, like 2 years ago, I think, and it was really cute. It's about a witch and a werewolf, and I really enjoyed it. It wasn't like an absolute favorite, but it was really cute. But I just don't see the need in keeping this book, and I really don't have that much space on my graphic novels shelf anyway, so I need every space I can get. Next up, I have another whole trilogy, and that is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. This is the box set, and these are the UK paperbacks. So you know, UK paperbacks are really tight and stiff, and it's really uncomfortable to read at some points. So I just purchased myself the US paperbacks that are a lot more floppy, which I really love. I think I already unhauled The Fifth Season in my last unhaul video, but at that time it was the German translation. Another book that I want to unhaul is also The Mask Falling by Samantha Shannon. I, for some reason, ordered 2 copies of this one, so I really don't need that, so this is also going on my unhaul stack. I also did a video on my top 10 favorite book covers a while back, and this was, I think, on the 2nd place, so I really didn't want to unhaul this for a long time because it was so beautiful, and that is The Stormcrow by Caitlin Josephson. Not only is the cover really pretty in my opinion, but the best part is underneath the dust jacket. It's just so beautiful. But I just have no intention of reading this one, and I haven't heard the best things about this, so I have to unhaul this too. And then I am also going to unhaul The Guinevere Deception by Kirsten White. I was really interested in reading this one. I think it's also inspired by the Arthurian legend, so that sounded really interesting, but I have so many other books on my TBR, and this one is really low on my interest level, so it just has to go, unfortunately. Then I have a book that I'm still very interested to read, and that is Educated by Tara Westover. This is a non-fiction book about survivalists in the mountains of Idaho. And that sounded really interesting, so I am still very interested in that, but I feel like I'm just going to like listen to an audiobook for this one, or you know, read it as an ebook. I just don't feel the need to keep a physical copy of this, so that's why it also has to go. And I also want to unhaul A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne Brown. I was also really interested in reading this one, but just not enough, and I have other books that I would like to get to more. Maybe I'm going to pick up the audiobook at some point, but I feel like I'm never going to pick this up physically. And now to the Fairy Loot exclusive editions. Unfortunately, I have to unhaul Woven in Moonlight by Isabel Ibanez. This is a Bolivian-inspired fantasy, so it sounded really, really interesting, and I really wanted to get to this one, but there are so many books, so I just have to unhaul some. And again, I think I'm going to pick up the audiobook for this one when I'm really in the mood for it. So yeah, unfortunately, I have to unhaul it. So now to the ones that have already sold. So I can't show you them physically, but I'll just blend in a photo of the book. And the first one would be We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. I'm still very excited about this one and I really want to get to it, but my bookshelves are so full, and especially the shelf where We Hunt the Flame was on was really full, and I think I'm just never going to pick this up physically. I still really want to like read it, so maybe I'm also going to pick up an audiobook for this. I had to make really tough decisions, so this definitely wasn't easy to unhaul all of these books, but some just have to go. Another one where I thought I'd never unhaul it was Bone Crier's Moon, because that cover is absolutely stunning, especially the Fairy Loot exclusive edition. It is just so gorgeous, especially the edges. They just look so good. But I don't really know if the story is going to be for me, so it just had to go as well, unfortunately, again. Then we have another trilogy where I've read the first one and started the second one, but I just really didn't like the series, so I had to unhaul it as well, and that is the Grisha trilogy, so Shadow and Bone. You know what I mean. Yeah, I had the German paperback set, and I sold it already. The next one is Girl, Serpent, Thorn. Once again, I was really interested in this one as well, because I really like Middle Eastern inspired fantasies, so I was really hyped for this one actually, but just not enough. Another one that I've just recently gotten was Winter's Orbit, which I got in a Illumicrate box. I wasn't too interested in the book, so it also had to go. But obviously, if I become interested in these books again, I can always just get the regular edition or listen to the audiobook, whatever. Same goes for this Golden Flame, which we got in the recent Fairy Loot. It just didn't sound amazing, so it had to go as well. Now finally, a book that I've actually already read, which was A Deadly Education. I have the Illumicrate edition for that. I already sold it. It was the first book that I gave 1 star. You can check out my wrap-up for January where I read this one. It was just horrible. Totally different expectations. Yeah. Another one that I was really hesitant to unhaul was Star Daughter. I actually have read this one and I didn't like it, but the cover is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I think this was the most beautiful book on my bookshelves. But I just really didn't like the book, so it had to go as well. Really tough decisions were made, especially the Fairy Loot exclusive with the golden sprayed shimmery edges were just so beautiful. So I'm really sad that I had to let this go. And last but not least, I unhauled the entirety of the Saga graphic novels. So I read them all and I enjoyed them. I think I gave them all 4 stars, but honestly they were just mostly average for me. I just didn't love them, so there's no need in keeping these. They were also pretty expensive, so I just need to unhaul these because I don't need them in my life. And I think what I've realized with graphic novels, I just really prefer to read them on my iPad, because most of the time I don't feel the need to keep them if I've already read them, if that makes sense. Except for like a couple where I really love the art style. But with this one, it just has to go. But yeah, these are all of the books that I unhauled. I'm going to count them when I finish editing this video. and I'm going to put this probably in the thumbnail. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.